My first ever smartwatch, after very careful consideration, was the Ticwatch E1. This is about 4 years old, I think. Yeah, around 4 years old. Well, it's reached the end of its lifespan. If you haven't heard of Ticwatch, it's actually a brand that's like OnePlus for smartphones, but this is for smartwatches. Well, like I said, the Ticwatch E1 for me has long lost its lifespan, and we make way for the new and beautiful Ticwatch E2. I'd like to give a huge shout out to the people at Tech360.tv for giving me an amazing opportunity to try out this watch and to try out the Ticwatch E2 and actually review it. So head over to their website, check out their content. So yeah, thank you Tech360.tv. I'm your host Thiru, and this is Random Review Squad. The Ticwatch E2 is the new and improved version of the Ticwatch E1, and it's priced at an amazing $229. That's an SGD, by the way. Now, for the price of $229, the specs that this watch has is insane. In fact, you get the same processor and chipset as the Ticwatch Pro 2020, their flagship watch. The only difference is you have a RAM of 512 megabytes instead of 1 gig of RAM, and you don't have that layered LCD battery saving method, and some other stuff as well. It's got a Snapdragon 2100 processor with 512 megabytes of RAM and 4 gigs of storage. The Ticwatch E2 also boasts a 2-day battery life with a 415 mAh battery, a built-in GPS, a heart rate monitor, accelerometer, and a gyroscope. It's very clear that this watch is a lot more sports focused as compared to the Ticwatch Pro, and a bit more casual than their sports series, the Ticwatch S2. The Ticwatch E2 has a black polycarbonate body, which makes it perfect for rugged sports. It's also got various sports modes on their Ticwatch, Tic Health and Tic Exercise apps, so you can kind of like select the modes that you want or select the sports that you're doing, and it will track accordingly. The watch calculates calories, tracks your timings, checks your heart rates and step counts and whatever usual stuff that fitness trackers have. It's even got a waterproof 5 ATM rating, which means you can actually swim up to 50 meters in the water, or down to 50 meters in the water. Yeah, without spoiling the watch. So you can actually go for a proper swim. If you can take it 50 meters in the water, you can actually literally pour your drink on it and nothing will happen. Hopefully. Please don't pour your drink on the watch. Yeah. Apparently they have this technology called TICMOTION 1.0, which can actually tell the different swimming strokes apart from one another, and you could tell what you're doing, what kind of sport you're doing based on their AI algorithms and all that. But that's pretty cool. Like, you actually have AI in your smartwatch. It's actually smart. But I haven't really seen it in action because I don't really swim. I just use the regular exercise apps like Nike Run and stopwatch and timing and all that. But it's there, so that's something to think about. I've used the Ticwatch apps a lot, and it's pretty comprehensive. Mobvoi definitely has the applications down. Mobvoi is the company that does Ticwatch, by the way, if you didn't know. It's got all the main information that you need about your exercise and your body, and it helps you plan your days, plan your sleep, plan everything that's health related. Of course, if you're using third-party apps like Nike Run, you could just download it into your watch and you're good to go. You could also use the onboard GPS to open up Google Maps and find out your location, especially when you're running. But to be honest, if you've lost your way while you're running, I think that's the point you should stop running. It also has a beautiful 400 by 400 AMOLED display, just like the Ticwatch Pro, which is pretty good. Now I realize there's no way for one person to keep the screen on forever, so you literally have to keep tilting and then, or pressing, because it goes into that automatic like tone down mode or like hybrid mode to save on battery. But it would be good for an option to be there to actually have an always on screen. There is an option called always on screen, but it doesn't stop the toning down of the screen. But of course, on the other end, if you're looking to save battery life, which is more important than always on screen, turn down the brightness of your display and use watch faces that don't actually update every second, or doesn't show you the heart rate, or it doesn't show you the time of or the location of the moon or something like that. Please, just use like a simple watch face that doesn't update every second, because those fancy high level watch faces may look cool but they drain through your battery. and your watch ain't gonna look cool if it's dead. I used the watch for about a week and the battery did last about 1.5 days, and it charges up within 1.5 hours, which is pretty quick. But this makes you go into a routine of charging your phone every day. I mean, as someone with a lot of gadgets and a lot of things to do, you may not find this ideal because you may completely forget to charge it, and then when you want to go for a run, which finally fits into your schedule, the watch is dead. So you probably have to wait like half an hour before you can take it out and go for a run. But there has been a definite improvement in battery life from the Ticwatch E1 to the Ticwatch E2. It's probably the processor. The Ticwatch connects your watch through Bluetooth 4.1 and it also has Wi-Fi to speed up its downloads. Of course, the watch uses Wear OS and you have access to all the Google services that the Wear OS boasts about. With the assistant, I'm able to control my home, set reminders, and even check the weather. Why even check the weather? Checking the weather is like a basic thing. Yeah. Of course, in school, I use the agenda and the note-taking apps to check my agenda, check my calendar, and of course take down notes or voice notes during my classes. I can also answer calls through the Ticwatch E2, but I never really did that on the Ticwatch E1, so I didn't really do it on the Ticwatch E2 either. But nevertheless, it's a function you have. If you want to look cool like James Bond, go ahead. And of course, you are able to see who's on the other end calling even before you take out your phone. So then you can make the decision if you want to take out your phone or not. I guess that's the whole point. Media controls, of course, on the watch are a godsend, especially when you have things to carry and there's wires everywhere. You know, when you have wired earpieces or, you know, I mean, everyone's switching to true wireless earpieces now. But you don't have to have your phone out to actually control your media, your music and all that, your Spotify. You can just use the onboard apps on the watch to control your music, which is pretty good. Now, like I said, I actually own the Ticwatch E1 and I've used it pretty extensively. And there were some pressing issues with it where the apps run extremely slowly and it was stuttering quite a bit. The Google Assistant took a very long time to like turn on and listen to your requests. And sometimes the heart rate sensor was a little crazy. Also, I can no longer use it anymore because like it's rusted. Like one of the pins is rusted. One of the charging pins, in fact, is rusted. It's probably due to like electrical arcing that occurs when you have pins side by side, and it stops charging at 14%. So there may be an issue with the battery, I'm not sure. But it's been a while since I've used the watch. And of course, I am worried because the Ticwatch E2 and the Pro actually have the same or about the same design in terms of the charging, where there's 4 pins side by side one another and it's flat exposed to your skin and sweat, which may cause some other issues. But let's look past that. Now, after using the Ticwatch E2, the Snapdragon 2100 processor does boost its performance by a lot, but it still has a little bit of stuttering here and there. For some reason, even though the Ticwatch Pro has the same chipset as the Ticwatch E2, the Ticwatch Pro is much smoother. This is very evident when you're using the Google Assistant. On the Ticwatch Pro 2020, it's really very quick to respond, but on the Ticwatch E2, it takes quite a while. It could be put in the category of laggy. It's like something is holding it back, probably the RAM, because it's only 512 megabytes. The Ticwatch E2 also has a much better strap than the Ticwatch E1. It looks better, it looks cooler, it's thicker, it's much more comfortable. But of course, if you don't like the look, you can buy your own straps and you can change it up, because it's pretty easy to change out the straps. It also uses the same one button concept as the E1, but the button feels sturdier and the click from the button makes it feel more premium. Now, I feel like the Ticwatch E2 is a much more cost-efficient option as compared to its counterparts like the S2 or the Pro even. It's more than $100 less than the Ticwatch Pro. Well, the Ticwatch E2 has got half the RAM of the Ticwatch Pro, no NFC of course, and the Ticwatch Pro has a much more attractive design than the Ticwatch E2. But besides those differences, you have the entire Wear OS capability stored in the Ticwatch E2 with the heart rate monitor and the Ticwatch Sports apps. On the other end, comparing it to the S2, you actually have a much more casual looking watch, which means you could wear it to events, like casual events. Sometimes you could pass it off for a formal event if you have the right strap. So it is a little bit more worth it than the S2. So the Ticwatch E2 is really the sweet spot, and it's worth a look at and it's worth a buy if you're looking at the Android smartwatches. So we've come to the end of my Ticwatch E2 review. A big shout out once again to the people at tech360.tv for sending me these watches to review and post on my channel. And also shout out to Mobboy for allowing them to send me those watches. Is that how it works? If you want a much more comprehensive review, head over to tech360.tv. Check out their blog. I would have done a write-up about the entire watch, and it will have much more nerdier facts and stuff for you to read. Also, you can go and check out my review about the Ticwatch Pro 2020 if you haven't. It's a pretty fun video, so yeah, go and check that out. If you like this video, please leave a like and smash that subscribe button. If you have any comments that you want to comment about the Ticwatch E2 or your personal experience with an Android smartwatch, I would be happy to hear about them in the comment section below. Until next time, I'm your host THIRU, and this is Random Review Squad.